only comes up because the story that lies around it is that money is finite.
Yes.
Money that I just spent, meaning now it's not there. Therefore, this was some of the money that I could have put on my Land Cruiser. This was some of the money that I could have bought a trip with.
Yes.
I could have done other things.
Yes.
But what you're missing in all of this equation is that money wants to move.
Yes, it feels like I'm taking away from the Land Cruiser by purchasing a greenhouse.
And this is why we wanted to bring this up right now, because you're not taking out of anything. You're allowing money to flow. You're giving it some movement. You're giving it some direction. You're giving it some purpose. We want you to change the meaning. We want you to nudge from here to here in your definitions around what that meant. When you invest in things, make purchases, feel into how you are putting things into motion. Rather than, it's like you're investing in your forward movement. Do you feel that?
Yes.
Versus spending money to make it less.
I understand. Depleting something.
Exactly.
Depleting a reserve.
Depleting a reserve comes from lack mentality. Because the root of that, the story that lies in that is there's never enough. There's only what's here. But what you're forgetting is money is energy. It actually wants to move so it can keep moving. And if you can keep that flow open in your field, you will continue to make the moves, be inspired to make the moves, to bring in more clients, to bring in more money. And not only in your business, money can come in through different channels. But you have to stay open. And why it's important for us to share this now is because this is the moment where the contraction wants to take place. Big purchase, feels good, there's some crunchy. The crunchy could easily kick you off of this good feeling. Easily.
Yes, and if I go back to that feeling of like the Land Cruiser's chasing me, and
yes.
the vacation and the trip to Europe is chasing me.
And there's nothing that needs to be done.
Yes.
Like there's nothing that needs to be fixed around all of this. There's no earning. And we want to talk a little bit about that.
And I can see how, because the logical mind is stuck in the 3D reality, I can see how the logical mind tries to create opposition to it.
Exactly. And like, we're saying these things to you because we want you to continue holding the frequency around these things. Because this is the work. Right now, where you are at the level of initiation, it's about your ability to move forward after making a purchase and not dropping any of it.
Yes.
Continuing to move, regardless of how paralyzing it could feel.
Even though I just bought a greenhouse, the Land Cruiser's still chasing me.
Exactly. And even if you just bought the greenhouse, you can literally put a deposit on a cruise. Feel it in your body. So when we see these things, how does it feel?
I can feel the inner critic, logical mind doubt knocking at the door, but I can continually pivot back out of it into the chasing me feeling.
Wonderful. Any questions about that?
Just reflecting on. So it's really just staying out of the doubt the mind tries to create. If we were to say it simply.
Yes. Exactly it. And to add to that, there is so much in reality to celebrate. You just bought a greenhouse. And you feel it because we're talking about the celebration. You can feel some of this with the excitement of, oh, now I get to look at all the different kind of pots and plants that I want to put in the greenhouse. So the adventure only begins now. And now that you've set things in motion with the go button, things are beginning now. It's like entering into a new chapter, entering into a new timeline. You're saying yes to this timeline. So the timeline can unfold, meaning a timeline of abundance. Until you hit the yes button, and we're talking about any purchase or decisions that you are making, until that moment when you say yes to life, there's not much happening. There's stagnancy, there's going to be stuckness, there's going to be confusion. Movement, making moves, taking actions, clears the field. It sets things in motion. It puts you in your power. Because it catapults you into not having a choice but being in your power. Because you're not going to sit on the couch and mope because it would cost a lot of money and that didn't feel good. That's not it. You know that there's power in making these moves. We want you to feel this. And we want you to acknowledge that you set things in motion by doing this. Can you feel this?
Yes, so if we wanted to open up the field even more, would things like researching different cruises out of London open it up even more?
Absolutely.
The way that I look at the Land Cruiser videos and articles, does that open up the field more?
It opens up the field because it's putting a lot of the elements on board. It's even helping the mind, the perception of the mind. As long as you're not dipping into the lack, you understand that, right?
Yes.
As long as watching these videos and doing these research and all of that continues to keep the energy high. And we know you can feel the difference in your body.
Yes.
Right? Is the energy high around this, or am I dropping it? Am I continuously feeling defeated by the fact that the money reserves my mind is seeing going down doesn't feel good? Or am I holding the vision of I can make any fucking thing happen because I'm choosing to, and I'm putting the things in motion that needs to be put in motion in order to head on this timeline over here? So, non-action is one of the main blocks that humans create for themselves. We really want to anchor this in.
So if money is required for a Land Cruiser, and the money's not yet in the bank, continuing to be excited and opening the energy towards a Land Cruiser, that then initiates the cooperative components for the money that's required from a physical standpoint to show up?
Yes, because your excitement is the fuel that attunes you to the frequency of the experience entering into your world, into materialization. You become it. What we were sharing with you yesterday, we're not even sure which conversations we had, but we remember sharing with you the part where it's not about plucking anything out of the vortex or out of your quantum reality. It's about becoming the version of you who is excited because you're picking up your Land Cruiser in 2 weekends from now. Or in 2 months. It doesn't matter the time. Because once you've disconnected from the time aspect, you just have to hold the excitement of, it's happening, I'm making it happen, it's happening, it's happening, it's happening. And it feels so darn good.
So would you agree that humans never have to try or worry about manifesting money?
Not if they're co-creating.
So from the quantum vantage point, when you attune to the excitement of the Land Cruiser and are calibrated strongly enough and have the highest level of excitement or enough excitement for it, then the money must show up.
Something will show up. We can't say money, but the Land Cruiser itself might show up. Another vehicle that's equally as exciting might show up and blow your mind because the synchronicity of how it shows up is like, this is it. But it only can happen, it can only materialize if you're holding this vision and this frequency.
So everybody who's busy trying to manifest money, what's the pivot they should make? Is it the pivot to calibrating to the frequencies of the realities that they and circumstances they want to be experiencing?
Well, it's about not playing in the realm of unlimited possibilities. possibilities and potentiality. If you are playing in the limitations of the limited realm, it's very, very hard to cross over, isn't it? It's very hard to create magical experiences and magical unfolding.
Yes, and that's that worksheet that I created yesterday that
Yes.
goes into
The cheat
365
sheet.
Online, the cheat sheet. That shows the difference between the linear approach to reality versus the
It
quantum
helps
approach.
the mind understand, and it helps you locate where you are at exactly.
So somebody sent me a video ask message the other day saying, I don't have the money that I want to work with Nick, and I don't have the money I want to take a vacation, and I don't have the money that I want to buy a car. So it's not about that person trying to manifest the money, it's about that person calibrating to the experiences that I just mentioned.
That, and we would even begin a little bit more, a few steps back. We would begin by seeing and looking at the things that you currently have in your reality, and see those things as desires. The car that you are currently driving, the food you are currently eating, the clothes you are currently purchasing for yourself, the day-to-day mundane things that you have in your immediate environment that you have brought into your materialization. Feel your desire for those things in the same way. We'll say this in different ways. Feel your excitement for those things. When we say desire, we're not talking about, oh, I want those things from a desire of not having them. We're talking about feel the abundance of everything you currently have now, as if you created those things for yourself. You have to place yourself in the frequency and in the identity of the powerful co-creator. And when you are listing off the things that you don't have, you're not in the right position. You're positioning yourself from the place of lack, from a frequency of not having enough, from scarcity reality, from separation consciousness. But when you nudge yourself into unity consciousness, one with source, one with your source self, you no longer approach things from a place of desperation and need. It can come through the purity of your heart's desire. Oh, I really want to go on a vacation. Wonderful. It's no longer, oh, I can't go on vacation and I don't have the money, because that comes from a place of, I am a victim to the fact that money is superior than I am. It has more power than I do. Therefore, I'm placing all the power that I hold and I'm giving it to money and saying, money, if you're here, I have the power, but if you're not here, I don't have the power. External to yourself. Therefore, you're not positioning yourself in the right position.
So what you just stated a minute ago, to me, I think is very summarized by what Abraham Hicks says, which is appreciating what is and being excited for more.
Yes.
And I would even take the words being excited for more and even celebrating those things you're excited for.
Yes, we love that word.
Even if they're not present in your reality, celebrating the car, the vacation.
Yes.
And then
if you can have everything you desire, and you know this, you live by this truth because it is a truth. If you know it in your cells, in every single cell, that I get to have what I want, I get to create what I want, wouldn't you not be living in celebration all the time? But most humans live in desperation, deflation, disappointment, depression, all the D's. Because they're placing all their power and all their disempowerment on conditions. And usually those conditions involve money. Money is just a player in the game. But you're the commanding officer. But you don't command with your words, you command with your frequency. And when your frequency is attuned to pleasure, when your frequency is attuned to satisfaction, appreciation, celebration, you can make pretty big things not only happen, but you get to experience the deliciousness within the unfolding. Because you understand that it's all part of it, and you understand how delicious every part gets to be. It's not about an end thing. It's not about the Land Cruiser. It's not about the greenhouse. It's not about the cruise. It's about the process and the journey along the way. And it's about who you are becoming along the path. That gets to be exciting. That is worthy of celebration. isn't it?
Absolutely.
How does that feel?
Exciting.
Any more questions around this?
I think it all sounds pretty straightforward. I think now it's taking what we've discussed in our last 365 aligned quantum call and the last with the luminous channeling, what we just discussed here, and then basically putting it all together.
And being able to locate where you are at in all of the equation, right?
Yes.
Just noticing, observing yourself, getting curious. Am I more dominantly within the frequency of lack and scarcity and separation consciousness? Or am I playing the quantum? Am I playing in the field where there is unlimited possibilities? Because both realities exist, but you get to create it. And you get to create it by what you choose and what you focus on. Your focus is your currency.
Absolutely.
Right? Very good.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.